to another episode of Behind the Reality Podcast, brought to you by UrbanPop Radio, where we discuss everything entertainment, fashion, politics, culture, and more. I'm your host for today, Olufowo Tomiwa, and today's conversation is one that has been making the round in political circles, community discussions, and even casual conversation across Nigeria and more. Our topic for today is Christian genocide and Trump's deployment of the US Army. Is it to save Nigeria or to wake up the Nigerian government? And for the first time, we'll be having two guests. Yes, joining me to dive deep into this conversation is our first guest. Is someone who has been at the forefront of political advocacy, is a public affairs analyst, is the director of Media Advocacy and Technology Center, MATEC, which is a civil society organization. We can also refer to him as a civil society activist. He's respected for his boldness and clarity of thought. We have Mr. Musa Aliyu. And our second guest is former PPRO of Kwara Police, is the founder and director of Oxum 92 Security Consult, which he founded after he retired. SP Ajayi Okasomi, MNIPRO. He is retired, but never tired. Mr. Ajayi and Mr. Musa, welcome to Behind the Reality Podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much. Fantastic. So let's just dive right into it. So last week, speaking to reporters on Air Force One, Trump maintained that the US military could be deployed to Nigeria to carry out airstrikes to stop what he called killing of large number of Christians. He doubled down to pointing what he calls the mass slaughter by radical Islamists and warns that Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria and beyond. The world listens and leaders take note. And suddenly, a conversation that started on Truth Social is echoing through global corridors of power, which takes us right to our first question. Is the situation in Nigeria truly a Christian genocide, or is it more complex, involving ethnic, political, and economic factors? Mr. Ajayi, would you like to answer that for us?
Thank you. My boss is Ajayi. My name is Musa Ali. Just like you've made mention in the intro, yes, the situation in the country, in Nigeria presently, cannot be generally be termed to be genocide against Christianity. But the issue is that we've been having an emerging insecurity, and that has actually defiled all measures put in place by the Nigerian government. If we look at it very well, it has been there for more than at least 10 years, so to say. And as it is, there is no head in sight for this. So we can say that there have been killings. And this killing is not enclaved to a particular religious setting. It's not enclaved to a particular ethnic group. Yes, it started in the northern Nigeria, but as it is now, it is gradually getting its way into the other part of the country. And when you look at it very well, if you look at the Nigerian geography very well, you discover that where these killings started from were mostly in the north, northwest, northeast. But as it is now, north central is not spared. And by the time you go down, you discover that we still have pockets of killings, massacres going on in some other southern states. So if you look at it very well, we cannot specifically say that this has been confined to the churches or to the mosque. Rather, the insecurity is getting its roots and is defying all logics and solutions. So honestly, what came from the President of the United States as a way of Christian genocide was more or less a shock to the people of the country, because we expected the United States, by virtue of the intelligence network, to have gathered as many informations as possible. On number one, who are the actors responsible for these killings? What has been the mission behind their killings? Yes, there has been killing in the churches, likewise in the mosque. But all these killings, are they really politically motivated? Was there any form of faith behind this killing? All these are what we expected global power like the United States to come out with before the threats of even invasion coming in place.
But sir, the what triggered this question, so to say, is the death that happened in Jos. However, they had killing. There have been videos circulating of churches being demolished, burnt down, then Christians being killed. I think there was about 2 to 3 mass burial of Christians that were bombed. There was a video circulating about a few days ago also of Christians, because from what they were saying, we had Fulanis, we had Hausa, but according to them, they were saying they were believers. They were running for their life, and there were sounds from gunshots around. And we also saw that a picture from during the late um, President Muhammad Buhari circulated, where a certain sheikh was awarded for keeping about 260 Christians in his mosque for safety. Mm-hmm. So don't you think that something like that could actually trigger such conversation? And these videos, some are from quite recent happenings, while some are actually from way back, but that was what triggered it. So are we saying that there's no actually Christian genocide? Mr. Ajayi, would you like to answer that?
Thank you so much. The Nigerian problem is such that I've been here for a very long time. For example, in this country, a lot of incidents that cost a lot of people's lives. There is no denying the fact that we have a lot of killings in Nigeria. The only problem is that there was no DNA to determine the kind of people that were killed. There were no statistics to tell us, or the data to tell us that out of the 200 people that were killed, 199 of them are Christian. What I know is that killing is killing. Human beings are human beings. No life, no single life is worth wasting for whatever reason, religious, ethnic, and the rest of them. But the only thing I know is that the Nigerian government, they are not doing what they are expected to do in tackling this menace. And when you look at what is happening, especially in the northern part of this country, northeast, northwest, now it's coming to north central. It has even come to north central. Yeah. As you can see, it's also moving to the southwest, southeast. So every part of Nigeria is not. So it is not right for somebody to say Muslims are killing Christians. But if you look at the position or at the locations of the killing, that is why many people are saying it is Muslim against Christian. But what we have seen in the history or in the time past is that both mosques and churches are being attacked during the start of this problem of Boko Haram. And we know many people are taking advantage of what is happening. For example, as a police officer, we've had cause to arrest kidnappers that people felt are Fulani, Hausa Fulani or Fulani headers, and we discovered that they are from the other part of Nigeria, talking in like manner to how the Fulani people talk. By the time we unveiled them, we discovered that they are even either Yoruba or Igbo, claiming to be Hausa when they are doing that business. So what I'm saying is that it is logical for anybody that sees what is happening, especially in Plateau and Benue, to claim that Muslims are killing Christians. But one thing I want everybody to believe is that people are being killed for different reasons. Me, I will have to put it on the table or the doorstep of politicians. Do you understand? Mm-hmm. I want to put it squarely at the doorstep of politicians. Thinking about Christian or tribe, those are the tools used by politicians to cause problem between one group and the other. As long as it suits them, they come out to say it. You can imagine what happened in Katsina not quite long ago, where bandits were made to come outside from the bush with all their ammunition and all that thing.
It was like a grand gesture.
Peace talk. How can you talk peace with people that have killed a lot of people? They have come out. You always claim that you are searching for them, you could not get them. Now they're on their own. You brought them out and you are talking peace with them, even snapping pictures with bandits, carrying weapons, wearing uniforms of lawful state organizations. So I am putting this squarely on the doorstep of the government, though it is not the duty of American president to threaten Nigeria with invasion Hmm? That is what we call, I will remember the term. That is, it is not his duty. Though America is said to be the police of the world, but we have seen many places that America has tried to do their police work, that what they have there is destruction, stealing, and killing of people. At the end of the day, there is nothing. You can cite the example of Libya, you can cite the example of Afghanistan, Iraq, and presently you see what is happening between the guy in Gaza, Israel, and the rest of. Why are they not going there to say they want to? So what I'm saying in essence is that, fine, it is good. Everybody knows that there are killings in Nigeria, which is not right, like I said. But it is not enough for a president to say he's going to declare a war in another person's country. What happens to our sovereignty? What happens to our sovereignty? If the government wants this thing to be stopped, they'll be stopped. But there are political undertones. There is lack of political will on the side of the government, politicians, to do that. One, because of elections. Two, because of ethnicity. Three, because of, they want to be, to have a political correctness. That, okay, when I was there, there are so many things. You can see from little things. In our prisons, we have a lot of people that are condemned. But no governor is willing to sign the execution warrant for those people to be killed. The next thing you hear that they have been given pardon, they have been given, what is it called? So all these things are what, that's why I said I'm placing it on the doorstep of our government. But Americans should not overshoot their relevance. It is not their duty come to Nigeria to invade us for whatever reason. Because, like my colleague said, you have the power, you have the technology, you have the intelligence, know-how. The only thing you can do is give the government information, give them an assistance on how to deal with this matter. Do you understand? But not for you to threaten that you are going to station your military in Nigeria. If you bring your military, you expect our military to stand idle and to run. How many have you won in all these things you have done? There's no way you can conquer Nigeria, regardless of the power you think you wield. So that is my own take.
Thank you
It's
so
not Muslim killing Christian. Bad people are killing good people. Both Muslim, Christians, and even traditionalists. A lot of people have died in the course of this engagement by these criminal elements.
Thank you so much, sir, for that. That was very insightful. So, are we saying that what is currently happening in Nigeria cannot be described as Christian genocide? So, in other terms, could that also be, we could see it as a political factor, or we could see it as ethnic factor? There is no culture, no religion, or stuff like that. There's killing, and that is that. Thank you so much, sir. But sir, there are suggestions, so to say, online where people are saying, okay, if these bandits have this much facilities to be able to attack Nigeria, and Nigerian army may not have the US army coming to support, now that should be the case. Would that not aid or make us win this war? Because it is a war. Better.
Actually, there is international relationship between sovereign nations. Nigerians are signatories to a lot of laws. You understand? Even with military, a lot of agreement, a lot of laws signed by Nigeria as member of the United Nations, member of ECOWAS, member of OAU or AU as it is called now. So if there are needs, that is why even Nigeria was among the nations that installed the government of Liberia when military took over. Solely Nigeria went there, and so many other countries. So if they are coming to, we are not in a war, we have only serious security challenges where lives have been lost. If you are coming as a supporter, as somebody who wants to encourage the government of Nigeria to surmount that problem, there is no issue with that. We can come together, but not threatening or giving us ultimatum that if you don't do anything between now, you are coming to invade. Are you doing that in clear conscience, or you have an interest that you are doing that? Because we know, a lot of people know that we're talking about international relations and what is happening now. You see, a lot of people believe that it's because the government of Nigeria is snubbing American and the West, and is now going east, China, France, and so that is the belief that people, some of this government have, that they want to beat Nigeria back to line. So that is the way some people look at it. But if it is genuine that you are concerned about the loss of life of Nigerians,
Nigerians.
this is not the way to go about it.
And let me quickly put in one or two things. As much as Nigeria is a sovereign country, we expect things on diplomacy, dialogue to be on the table. But the issue of a country threatening to take over, in quotes, another country by virtue of internal security breaches is a serious assault on our integrity and dignity as people of this country. In as much as the United States has its power, they must understand that to every power, there is always a limit. As far as the issue of security breaches is concerned, even in the United States, they have their own pocket of insecurity here and there. Is it onus on Nigeria as a country to say we are going to take over or we are going to threaten them with whatever we think is going to be? No. But one good thing I discover with this threat of a thing is that it has really gingered Nigerian government. Honestly, if there is anything, this mere threat here and there has really made the security chiefs, even the presidency, to wake up. You can see the kind of reactions coming from their stables, trying to defend. In fact, there was a report that the president of Nigeria will be meeting the vice president of the US. You see, that clearly shows that there is some element of seriousness. All these killings we've been saying here and there, people have been talking. But the next reaction you hear from the Nigerian government is, no, they will give condolence. They will say the securities will ginger up. After that, you don't hear anything. One good thing we must understand is that we've been crying and crying of the fact that none of these non-state actors that have been arrested have been persecuted by the court of law in the country. So this is a clear indication. Because by the time even you go to the United States, they will ask you, how many of these people have you really persecuted? That is one. Then two, this is the time for Nigerian government to know that it is not everything you play politics with. In as much as we are talking of people's life, if you don't take care of a small problem, whether you like it or not, that problem will escalate. And this is exactly what we are seeing. What people have been talking about. People were displaced in Okeode here in Kwara State. People were displaced in several other villages and towns. But have you ever heard of a kind of reaction we are seeing right now coming on board? No. You can look at what has been happening in Jos, what has been happening in Benue, and several other people, where people will be killed overnight. People will be crying and shouting, agonizing over the loss of the loved ones. At the end of the day, nothing concrete will come out of it. But with this apparent threat of invasion, everybody was trying to run left, right, and center, trying to look for way out. But honestly speaking, I think this kind of threat is a very good thing once in a while. In the sense that those at the helms of affair, they know that they have more than 90% stake when it comes to this threat. Because this threat will not just come. It is by virtue of the impact of these threats on their existence and well-being. How many poor people have ever even dreamed of traveling to America? But every now and then, if it is not president today, it's governors today that have that access of mobility to US. But by the time this threat comes into being, that movement to US will be caught. That is number one thing. So everybody will stay here unless they find alternative. So that clearly shows that this threat, we expect it. And it is going to be a wake-up call. We've been talking of governance. For the people in the grassroots, the hard-to-reach area, they are not asking to be a millionaires. They are not asking to be a billionaires. Rather, let them live a substantial good life. Provide them with good road so that all this insecurity will be tamed at the board. Because we've been saying it, the issue of unemployment is part of what is leading to this. What is the Nigerian government doing about it? The issue of dearth of infrastructures in the rural areas is part of it. What have we been doing? The only time, apart from this time, the only time you see Nigerian government getting serious on issues like this is during electioneering time. That is when they will be planning to reach every polling booth, no matter the distance. So tell me, are we only living for politics? What about those little benefits that common men are meant to enjoy in the government they tailored to put in place? So honestly speaking, I'm seeing the lighter parts of this threat. It is waking everybody else. Everybody is now maintaining sanity.
However, there have been ways of trying to resolve this issue. And I would ask, firstly, that what do you think are possible ways of resolving this. And what has been making rounds now is the fact that some people are saying, should they speak to these people? You made mention of the bandits coming out in grand style and nothing was done. They were still even taking pictures and all that. And it just makes me question the situation of the country as to why would the suggestion of speaking to people, there is a certain Sheikh Gumi or Gumi, yes, yeah, he's saying that we should probably speak to these people, negotiate with them, rehabilitate them, then, try to understand their psychology and bring them back into the community as civilized citizens. These are people that have been killing and killing and killing Nigerians. So do you think this is a possible way, and what are the other ways you think can resolve this? Coming to you for your...
Actually, there are two things we always talk about. One, we talk about kinetic method of solving this issue, the non-kinetic method of fighting this insecurity. But me, as an expert on this issue of security, there is something there is a laid down rules in this country. We have constitution, and when there are no consequences, nothing will happen, nothing will change. The moment we have a law that says whoever kills must die. If you kill somebody, you must die. Not by jungle justice, but through the process of law. Do you understand? So if you are talking about negotiation, yes, you can negotiate with somebody that is threatening to do something, but not somebody who has taken lives of a lot of people, who are still taking lives of people. You now ask them to come out, that you want to negotiate, you want to talk to them, you want to ask can you navigate out of this problem. I mean, there's this adage that says somebody who went to the bush to bring how do they call a lion's a baby of lion? There's a name, a cup. You went and bring the cup that you want to teach it. I mean, you want to use it as a domestic animal. You forgot that the day that lion grows up and it tastes a human blood, it will go back. It will become the normal animal that it is. So if you are saying somebody who has killed, then you want to now bring him back. You want to rehabilitate him. You want to de-radicalize him, and you think he has become a normal person. No, there is no way somebody who has been killing, one day ordinary provocation will make him go back. So issue of negotiation, no, fine. If they are still hiding, that you have not been able to locate them, it's a different thing. But people that you have been able to trick out for a peace, there is nothing wrong in capturing them there and made them. That was why people believe that the government, they know what is really happening. Because what are the contacts? This same person that they call Sheikh Gumi has been negotiating between kidnappers and this, collecting ransom and giving to them. And you are telling me there is no way you can get them. This same Nigeria that will register with NIN, we mention BVN, and you see people carry a large of money in form of ransom. You see bandits coming with video.
They use social media. They have
use social media. You know how to, and you are telling me there is no possibility of you
tracking
doing
them.
that. So these things that's why the reasons why people believe the government knows what is. And me as a person, personally, I believe if the government wants these things to stop, it will stop.
True.
But the problem we are having in this country is political correctness, the lack of the will by government to do what is right, because they are going to seek for vote of the people. The issue of north-south divide, that okay, I want to curry the favor of people from the north, me not being a southerner, so you don't want to, and you know that their children, not all of them, or some of their children are the ones perpetrating this evil. So if you begin to arrest them, and there are videos where you hear somebody saying, if you are attacking Boko Haram, you are attacking our children. There was a video from some northerners that time. So I am not using the same one brush to tie all of them, but what I am saying is that they know what to do. In this country that we are calling a secular country, and what do they mean by secular country? It's a country where Christians, Muslim, everybody are allowed by law to practice the religion they want. That same constitution. Then some set of states will come out and say they want to do Sharia law. then where is the place of the ground norm? And that the ground norm of every society is the constitution. Where is and that place says we should practice the laws. And you say, okay, how can you, all those things, and people allow them. Yeah. So that is the beginning of all this issue we are having today. And that is why the American and every other person are saying this thing is a religious problem. But we that we are in Nigeria, we know it is not religious. Because if kidnappers kidnap you on the road, they are not going to ask you, are you a Christian or a Muslim? You are taken into the bush, money will be collected, and there is no money. If they decide to kill, they kill. So what I only want, like what my professor said, this call by the President of America is a wake-up call to our government. Now they know that what the people are saying, they are only saying it now because they have a voice who has come to say, and that voice is the President of America. We see what is happening in Plateau. We see what is happening in Benue State. Numbers of people will be killed overnight. Now they will kill them overnight. We say, okay, you members of the public or community, defend yourself. When you say defend yourself, if you see you carrying gun now, the police will arrest you. You understand? And these people will come, attack you and go without any arrest. Sometimes they will tell you they met the military or they met the police. They call them that they have an information. They will say they cannot go there. And before you know it, a lot of lives. So the government knows what they are doing, and it is a good thing that the President of America has talked, but that is not to say he should deploy his military to Nigeria. Nigeria is a sovereign, because it's going to cause a lot of diplomatic issues. It's going to cause a division in global affairs, because many countries will support Nigeria against America. Many other countries will support America. So it's going to polarize the unity in the United Nations. Like in Nigeria now, I read something on the social media that the Chinese government, another government have said they are not going to support President Trump to do what he has promised to do. So all those things are there. So I believe with right senses, the Trump of a man will come to his senses, and the government of Nigeria, they already know what is happening. I learned that maybe president is appointing an ambassador.
Yes, he's appointing ambassador.
These are the things he has not done before. But this thing has engineered, and he has removed some military chiefs and service chiefs in the last 1 or 2 weeks. I believe everything will become normal, but it is not the duty of President Trump to dispatch military to Nigeria to come and invade Nigeria. And what I was having, I also had the information that he said they want to station his military in Port Harcourt. What has Port Harcourt got to do
It's Abuja.
with what is happening, either Port Harcourt or where, about 2 places? So that is to say, he's thinking about some economic, so let us say, yes, he has said what is that everybody has known to be the truth, but not that Muslims are killing Christians. The only thing is that we can say, yes, a lot of Christians have died because of the location where they are staying. We know in Benue or in Plateau, we know that there is issue of tribe, there is issue of land, and those things that has caused a lot of friction between the natives and these people. So, but the government has every wherewithal to handle that matter without any external gingering.
Thank you so much, sir. It's like you wanted to.
Yes. In addition to what our experts just mentioned, one thing we have to understand is that anywhere government fail to give basic governance to people, criminality setting.
Sure.
In fact, it starts from here. Look at what really happened now. At the main, Nigerian government are deemed it necessary and important to put in place the ambassadors and the rest ever in the international. You see, the creation of ambassadors in different countries is not for a tea party. It's for issues like this. Anytime they arise, somebody has to be on the table representing Nigerian interest. But as it is, for the past how many years, this government has not put any ambassador to anywhere. So that is number one flaw. So it is now when they feel threatened that they are looking at the list of ambassadors. Do you see that? Who does that? That is one. Then two, the governance index we've been talking about. If you look at the statistics, Nigeria is one of the countries that they keep making poor people every minute. These poor people, whether you like it or not, it is not all of them that have the same index of taking things of that. Many people would tend to be criminal. So for how long are we keep doing this? And again, what Oga said the other time, the issue of administration of criminal justice. is another reason. You see, for every criminal activity, we have enabling factors. Number one thing that makes these criminals to always embrace criminality in terms of kidnapping, banditry, and all this overrunning of community is because they know our administration of criminal justice is not working. The people that are persecuted, that are doing these wars here and there, even in the name of whatever guises, have they really been prosecuted? What is the place of administration of criminal justice? We've been talking about justice for the victims. For those that government has been deodorizing, have been pampering, by virtue of they are having a peace talk with criminals. How many criminals do we have a peace talk with? In fact, that is the reason somebody said that instead of having peace talk with these criminals, why don't you just leave open the prison? All those that have been convicted, let them come out now and do peace talk with them too. Because one criminal is not bigger than the other. We are talking of people that have actually displaced thousands of people, that have actually put lives at jeopardy. We are now saying we are doing peace talk with them. If you do that, definitely there is a complicity on the part of those that are meant to protect lives and property. Fine, we may have that kinetic and non-kinetic approach. But any manner of approach you want to use must put in place the victim of those criminality. How are they going to feel like? Do you think they will be happy that somebody who has killed their breadwinner is now on the same table with the government of the day? All these things are the reasons that have accumulated. And honestly, this threat of a call, I'm so much happy about it, to be frank, because it has really put everybody in line. Anytime we are talking now about insecurity, people will tend to listen. Then the reason why it comes to this level is because Nigerian government have allowed misinformation to take X way. No concrete government stand as far as the fight against this insecurity is concerned. We've been saying it. For every criminality, we must have a way of preempting it or preventing it. Especially the use of the basic technology. The harms with our security forces, are they really working? If you look at what those criminals parade, it's more sophisticated than what the security are holding. Then even those people you want to go and face these criminals, what are you using to encourage them? If they were killed in the battlefield, what will happen to their family in the barracks? How do you want them to survive? Those are the things we don't put in place. And you cannot put something on top nothing. In as much as you are not doing the right thing, you can never get a result. So we expect things to be working in psyche with what Nigerians have been clamoring for. This is the time for everybody to be on the same page. The issue of security votes here and there. The issue of federation of police and security. What are we doing about it? It has always been politics, going back and forth. They will tell you today they want to recruit police. Tomorrow they will tell you they are not recruiting. For those that are there, what kind of incentives, what kind of welfare do you put in place for them? For a policeman to be buying his own uniform? Do you think criminals will not go to the market and get theirs? It has become naira and kobo. And you are telling me that these are the things that accumulated into the insecurity and, of course, the threats that comes with it. So this is the time for Nigerian government to get it right. We've been talking about government, federal, states, and local. What are the roles and responsibility of all these people? Apart from collection of security votes, who is responsible for the security in the community? Communities are the one providing their own security now, using private security guards. Presence of security, of the government security, is very, very little in many areas. So tell me, how will you now be taking laws into their hands? And all this will accumulate into this kind of threat, whether we like it. It is Trump's threat we are seeing today. Another country with this, don't be surprised, tomorrow Nigeria will threaten you. Burkina Faso will threaten you. Because you are no longer that giant you are meant to be. The giant on paper is not the giants that people want to see. Nigeria is meant to lead Africans. You see, I want to lose something about this United States terror threat is a direct onslaught on the Africa. They know that by the time we threaten the big brother, Nigeria, all other smaller countries, they will fall in line. So tell me, that is more politics, international politics. Which Nigerian government, anybody trying to contest for an office in Nigeria, supposed to know? In fact, I used to feel like crying. Anytime I hear that, they will tell you Nigerian president has traveled out for medical trip. These are the reasons. Why would you have to do that? Why is Donald Trump not coming to Nigeria for medical checkup? Is it that he has two heads that Nigerians don't have? That our own president, our own government officials, they take that levity. They will even show them live TV. They are going for medical checkup abroad. You know, you are already putting a lot of question mark on the sovereignty of your people. You are telling them they are nobody. How many people can travel for medical checkup? in this country we are talking about. So honestly, this threat is a very good one. Nobody will go for any medical checkup. We all go to UITH here.
And that's it, guys. Thank you so much. So thank you so much, Mr. Musa. Thank you so much, Mr. Ajayi. Thank you so much for your contribution. And I'm just going to leave it at this. The insecurity in Nigeria did not just start now. We've had Boko Haram since 15 years ago. We have bandits. It's as if they keep modernizing them, then bandit, then we have different names for them. And we just hope that this threat, so to say, is a call for awakening for our government, a call for unity, fairness, and development. And I just hope that this will help demystify the intention also from the US president, expose reality, and encourage people to also speak about this and our government to put in place the necessary things because all lives matters in Nigeria. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And to all our listeners across Nigeria, we say thank you so much for watching. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, comment, and follow us on all our social media and at UrbanPop Radio. And I'll see you on another video. Until then, stay informed and stay engaged. Bye.